Hey, buddy. Um, Real quick, show you how I would go about putting the scales on. Um, so this is your carbon fiber. Throw your tang on there on your drill press and drop the 3/16 hole in the front or the back. Be mindful of, make sure you clamp this down. Use some vice grips or clamp or whatever. You don't want this thing helicoptering on you. And then when you get that hole drilled, get a spare bit and leave it in there and lock that hole into where it's at. Drill the other hole and scribe a line around the knife tang. And when you get both holes done in that line scribed, flip your knife over and grab the other scale and do the same thing. And then use your bandsaw or jigsaw or scroll saw or whatever and cut that measurement, that scribe. Leave the front for last. That'd be the last thing you want to shape. You'll end up marking your knife with a Sharpie and trying to decide, get a feel for where you want the scale to terminate towards the blade. Once you have that figured out, then lay your scale and your knife, side by side, and just try to copy that mark with a Sharpie onto your scale, and then that's where you want to cut your scales off. And a good trick is to take, hold on a sec. Take the knife away and use those Corby bolts and hold both of your scales together and shape them together on your sander or your saw or whatever. Excuse me. And get this part of the scale finished 100% before you even put it on the knife. So if you're going to stop at like 400 grit or whatever, or you want to angle on there or dovetail or something, do that before you do glue up. When your scale front is shaped and the profile is roughed out, get your caliper and set it on about a 1/16 of an inch or so, and scribe a line all the way around your scale. So you have this. So you're taking away the pencil work from when you trace your knife, and that'll make your scale a little bit smaller than a knife tang, and that should look real good. For the counter bore, you want to do that last. These Corbys have a 3/16 shaft and a 1/4 inch head. So your pilot hole needs to be 3/16, and then you need a counter bore to a 1/4 inch. You don't want to go so deep that the Corby is loose, or else you'll have to grind some of that shaft off. So use your calipers and be mindful of the Corby shaft is 3/8 of an inch long. Those carbon fiber scales, I think, are a 1/4 inch. The knife tang is it's about 0.15. It's just under 1/8 of an inch. So you would go in probably an 1/8, or not quite an 1/8 of an inch in each scale counterboard. That'll give you a fat 1/8 of an inch of meat for the heads to lock to, minus this 1/8 of an inch. So that'll give you enough to tighten it. And then glue up, thin coat of glue on both sides inside. Put the Corbys in and have some acetone and a rag handy and wipe off all the glue as you see it. Because when it dries. And whatever's up here on the front of the scale is going to be a bitch to clean up. I hope that helps, man.